So, we are going to be sharing some stories from one member who has been part of our community since we started. I'm talking way back in 2022 during COVID. Felicia Wright was one of the business owners who said, yes, I would love to be part of the All Things Black and Beautiful platform. And today it's grown to become more than All Things Black and Beautiful, but now we have the Black Business Network. And last time we had a recording, Felicia's product was given as a gift to one of our guests. And before we knew it, her product was being showcased at the New York Fashion Week. So join me to welcome Felicia Wright, the founder of Mygani LLC, and she'll be telling us a little bit more about her brand. Welcome, Felicia. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
We are good, thank you.
Good.
What's it like over there in Jacksonville?
It's good. It's supposed to be fall, but it's like 90 degrees today, so that's Florida.
Yeah, it's the same here in Texas anyway, so
Okay.
we can't complain.
Always steamy.
Always teamy.
Love it. Love it.
Right, Felicia, we are so excited to have you today because we've not stopped buzzing about your brand. I've followed your product for the last few years, and we love quality. We love everything about Mygani. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes. So Mygani, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but the name of the brand, Mygani, is actually an acronym combining the words my God and I. That's what it stands for. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that. And my husband actually came up with that name years ago. And for me, at the time, my background is in graphic design. I knew that I wasn't really sure what I was going to do as far as a business or being an entrepreneur, but I knew I always wanted to, lead with integrity, relationship building, and just being authentic. But as the years have grown, using my expertise in graphic design, 25 plus years, I decided that I wanted to do something with my experience in that area. So I designed, images that reflected in a positive way women and girls that look like me. And now I have a daughter who actually turned 13 this year. So the brand has evolved. I know I initially started out just providing services to different organizations, graphic design services, branding, things of that nature. And then I launched my product line back in 2015. So it's been 10 years now. Things have really been going well. I've been blessed, in a lot of areas to be in rooms where I never thought I would be. And thank you so much, Tolu, for, introducing my brand to different people. It's interesting because people ask me about the New York Fashion Week, opportunity. And I was trying to explain to some people that I know people see a lot of things online, but that was kind of something that organically happened, when you build relationships with people and, you have a respect for each other, things, evolve over time. So that was kind of like, and I think you said 2022 is when we initially met. And I know we haven't actually met in person. We know a lot of people, online through social media. So I know that we've grown our relationship over the years, and I'm just very appreciative of the opportunity. And again, that kind of happened organically and because of relationships that I've built over the years.
That is so amazing, Felicia. Thank you for sharing. First of all, love the intention that you use for your name and your logo.
Yes.
And your products are amazing. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing them as well with us. One of the things that I wanted to know was, what was your reaction when you found out that Dr. Cheryl put your brand Mygani in the Cheryl magazine, and you realized that you're going to be in every gift bag at New York Fashion Week?
Right. I was very super excited and just very humble because, people don't have to do things for you. And again, for me, I know I try to be intentional about being authentic and building relationships with people, and just very thankful that even though I wasn't physically in the room or in these spaces, that my brand is still being able to, be spotlighted and highlighted in a positive way in these spaces. And I know I guess you could say, a huge fashion girl, and I love accessories, handbags, which is kind of why I got into the area where I'm at now. So I actually was in New York twice over the last year and a half. The first time I was part of the Goldman Sachs Black Women in Business program. And then again, I was part of the Harlem World Fashion Show fashion retreat, which was in New York. So I'm just very fashion. I love all things fashion and creative. So that was a really huge deal. And I was super excited and just also very just humble again, because I'm not physically there, but my brand is still able to be in these spaces in a positive way.
Absolutely. And you touched on the power of connections, the power of authenticity, and the power of networks there. And that's what really we're all about, is building those connections and that community so that we can support each other and we can sponsor each other as well in rooms where we're not present. So that, thank you for sharing that, Felicia.
You're welcome.
And I know you're also now exploring some very interesting areas. So you've launched the round shaped purses. Can you tell us a little bit
Yes.
more about those?
Yes. So the last, I guess, 2 years, I won't say I'm a huge sports fan. I know my husband is really big on, football, and of course it's football season. But what attracted me and my dad, when I've grown up, my dad always loved sports. So while I'm not a huge sports fan where I sit and watch, one of the things that I've noticed over the last 2 years, especially in women's sports, kind of starting with the WNBA, just the power of, I guess, influence and representation, not just on the court, but also off the court in a positive way, and even tying fashion into that. So earlier this year, I launched a round crossbody. And I'll show you guys an example of it. But one of the areas that I am exploring and looking and getting into is women's sports, specifically women's basketball. And I'm starting with colleges, HBCU, because that demographic aligns with my brand currently. And I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
This is our large round crossbody. So you can see it's a basketball on the front. And I don't know if you guys can read these words, but I took a tape, kind of like a twist on our acclamations.
Yeah. Yeah. Lovely.
Girls win sports, self-confidence. And this is the term that we use a lot right here, the naturally confident, in regards to our brand and what it means. But with this particular bag, what I'm looking at doing is partnering with different specifically starting with women's basketball, and the colors can be changed, to the team, so it can be customized. For me, it aligns with my brand because I'm all about, empowering women and girls in various ways, no matter, what they're doing. And again, a lot of what I see and what I've seen over the last 2 years with the women athletes, it's not just what they're doing on the court, but also off the court as well, in a positive way.
That is so amazing. And I mean, just empowering other women, young girls, and just women, period. This is such an amazing space for you to be in. And we know that there's quite a few opportunities coming up here in Dallas, right? In 2026, Dallas will be sponsoring, or one of the cities is sponsoring, the FIFA coming up. And so are you going to be doing some networking here in Dallas as well?
Possibly. I am looking at it. I know I've always, I'm always looking for different opportunities outside of where I am, in Florida, just to explore different opportunities and expand the reach of the brand. So I'll definitely be looking into it. So you guys might see me there.
Yay, yay. Well, the good news is that the FIFA World Cup is going to be hosted across the whole of North America. So even in Canada, the East Coast, the West Coast, the Mexico. So, for every business owner out there, particularly if you're in the accessory manufacturing business, or in your fashion space, this might be your moment to explore new products and services. But no, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Felicia, for just sharing about your brand. If you are interested in purchasing any of Mygani's products, the website is www.mygani.com. uplifting.com. And on there
Yes.
you'll find you. You were even recently showcased by Tabitha Brown, I believe, or not recently. I think that was a few years old now, where you
Yes,
showcased your
Tabitha
product
Brown. That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And it was actually right. It was the last week in August, which is Black Business Month. So that was super exciting because when I got selected, I couldn't tell anybody, and then I didn't know when it would actually air. But Tabitha Brown, she has a platform on social media. Specifically, I think it's on Instagram, but then I know it's she also shares it on Facebook and YouTube. But where she spotlights and highlights Black-owned businesses, small businesses, and so I was blessed with the opportunity for her to be able to spotlight three of my products. It was our backpack, um, it was a laptop slash crossbody, and then also one of our best sellers, which is I know what you gifted Cheryl, the trolley slash travel bag. Yes, and so those three were promoted on there. And the interesting thing is, a couple months later that same year, I was a vendor at the Hallmark Mahogany event in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was the guest speaker or the key speaker. And she was very intentional about coming around to every vendor table. So I got to meet her in person. And so that was really cool. And so I had the opportunity to tell her thank you and how I appreciated her, sharing my brand online. That was a really again, just so thankful for to be able to be blessed and have these opportunities that, sometimes you think about things and you have vision boards and ideas, but you don't really know how it's going to come, how it will all come to fruition. And so that was just, again, very humbling, very grateful, and just very thankful for those opportunities.
I love that. Well, my favorite bag, I have to tell you, is the Wakanda bag. That one was so
Yes.
cute, and I'm like, I need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a
Right.
backpack. It's so super, super cute. So
Yeah,
that
and the
touched me.
interesting thing about some of those, I know, the one you're speaking of was the design was inspired by the first Black Panther movie. And it was, and again, I focus on women and girls, so it was the three main female characters in the movie, and then the bag that she gifted Cheryl, that image was inspired by the Woman King.
Yeah.
And so when I see these different things, and sometimes, ideas, being a creative person and ideas pop into my head, I knew I wanted to capture those things because it's about representation, but in a positive way. And, just something that's positive and representation of our culture and especially women.
Absolutely. Felicia, thank you so much. You've shared so
You're
much with us,
welcome.
and we're just thrilled to have you in our community. And we'll continue to support each other. We can't wait to have you here in Dallas. We'll keep in touch, keep sharing information with each other, and do say hello to your little girl for us.
I will. Yeah, she's not so little anymore, but yeah, I would definitely say hello. She actually I'll just do a proud mom bragging moment. She was inducted into the National Junior Honor Society last week. So she's in the 8th grade. She's 13 now. So
Wow, she's a teenager.
right. Yes.
Well, lastly, we'd ask, you've been part of the network, as Tolu said, since the beginning. What advice would you give to anyone who is thinking about joining the network and haven't done so just yet?
I would definitely say if you're thinking about it, do your research, look into it, but having a network and platform like this is essential to, it doesn't matter what type of business you have. Because what I always tell people is, it doesn't matter the type of business you have, but you always need support. Even if you're the only one, kind of running it, you're doing multiple things. But a lot of what happens in business, not so much as your skills and if you're good at it or what you're doing, but to have that support is key to keep it going. And as we have seen, in the world and society, things are shifting and changing so much from COVID to just the way you're able to get products from manufacturers to people buying less. So there's so many things that are going on. It's always good to have that support system to kind of figure out, what you need to do next, whether it's a pivot or you need to change, directions based on what's going on, depending on what your business is. but having that support of, like-minded people, especially women, maybe even moms that are going through similar things that you're going through, having that support is really key. And, you keep going and just staying positive. Because it can get frustrating, it can get overwhelming, but having that support system is key to everything.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Welcome.
Thank you, Felicia. Appreciate
Welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye
All
now.
right, bye.
So that concludes our community spotlights for today, and we will be doing more in the future. Just stay tuned. One of the reasons why we're doing this is because we want to showcase the business owners who are in the grind, who are working in the trenches, who are building, who are scaling, not just those who have scaled, but those who are in the process as well. So stay tuned. You'll hear from us soon.
Bye now.